Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
Yeah, welcome back to Blooming Bonds with Bubba and Jewel.
Thank you. So after I recorded the video last week, or this week rather, on Tuesday, I think. After I recorded that video on Tuesday, we decided that we need to make a testimony series. So we'll be making videos of what the Lord has done so far. Just because we don't want to be ungrateful and just because we don't want to hide it. Because we know that this is going to be a way that somebody else will be blessed.
And we also want to use this to encourage others out there.
Yeah, that's part of why we're making this. So after the whole citizenship joy and everything, I laid on my bed and I and my husband, we had a couple of deep reflections of the journey so far. And I know I messaged a couple of people that helped me from the beginning of when I stepped my foot into this country. It's been really amazing. But then I don't want to be ungrateful and forget where I'm coming from. I look back and I thought about when God told me that I should go with this man here. I remember when he came and asked me to be his girlfriend. I thought he was joking because frankly speaking, it wasn't really on my plans.
Wow.
I love you, baby. But then it wasn't like on my plans because I just didn't think it was the right time and the right person.
Wherever.
Or whatever.
And the main plan now. Huh?
Yes, he is. But I prayed about it and I had a deep sense of peace. And again, this is going to be about obedience. And thank God I actually obeyed God because maybe I'm looking back of things going on in Ukraine. Maybe I'll have been in Ukraine. I don't know. Maybe my path will have just been different. But I'm so grateful that thank God I followed the path that God showed me of this my lovely husband, and I came to the United States with him. Because again, I thought about the journey. The journey was pretty fast. From when I went to the embassy in January of 2021 to coming into the country in February, everything was fast.
Yes, everything was fast. I mean, but one thing that stood out to me, looking at the reflecting, I was like, wow. So God was actually using me as a vessel to go and save his baby girl. Because then, I know when I went to Ukraine, I'm like, oh, I'm going to see I'm going to see a friend and stuff. I'm going to see my girlfriend. People were like, what? You're leaving the whole of USA to go to Ukraine? But when you're on a divine assignment, when you're moving with God, it may not make sense to people. But at the end of it all, with time, the whole thing just makes sense. Because right after my wife, we started dating and stuff, and then he sees that this man was serious, so he was ready. She sees that I was serious, and she was ready to move with me in whatever direction I'm going. So the next man was like, okay, you have to go to Nigeria, you have to come to USA. We tried applying for you to come from Ukraine to USA.
I applied. I tried. I was
she was denied. So you were like, okay, so then you have to go to Nigeria, right, to go apply. So while she was in Nigeria, COVID hit.
And
COVID happened. And I was glad that she was in Nigeria with her family. That was really, because that would have been a very, very tough time.
Yeah.
Because my wife, she's a mommy's girl, daddy's girl. So, but I was just so glad, and I wasn't around. That was when I went for my military basic training. But then that went ahead. Fast forward, my wife came here to the United States, right? And then 2021, after she came into the USA, the war started in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
So all of that, just looking back, I was just like, wow, the Lord already went way ahead of us.
Divine alignment.
Like, because a lot of people were sending my wife message then about how it was just really hard. They had to relocate to Poland.
Yeah, that might have been my story because
just follow God.
Being in COVID, I would have been in Ukraine, and this is not to make anyone else feel like they didn't obey God or something. This is just me and my story. This is just me reflecting back to see that how sometimes we feel like, oh, God is not with me, or we have so many prayer points and we feel like none of it has been answered. Deep reflection actually shows you that a lot of things have been answered. Yes. God is the God that knows the very end from the beginning. So it's going to take you from the beginning, but we don't know that end, but you have to just keep following him, because again, my story might have been different, and I don't know what your own story is, but we're just making this video to encourage you that whatever season that you are in, your total submission to God really matters.
Really matters.
You have to trust that He knows the very beautiful end. Because if somebody had told me, like on the day of my naturalization to become a US citizen, I still kind of feel like it's unreal. It doesn't feel so real to me because everything happened in a way that I didn't think is going to happen in this manner.
Yes.
But that's just
it happened so fast.
That's because I know that is because the more you yield to God, if you remain in me, I will remain in you, right? And I'm not perfect. I'm still on the journey of getting to know God better. And the more we do these reflection videos, the more we get to see that God has a hand in our story.
And one thing I want to say is that God is not surprised by whatever you're going through. There is nothing that is going on in your life now that God's like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. God is not surprised.
But we'll be like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I really didn't see some things
and
coming.
God has already given us victory right from the beginning. No matter what you are going through, the victory is already there. So if God is taking you through some way that you don't really like right now, believe me, God is just disciplining you, and you need to get that lesson. We have our own share of disobeying God, and we face the consequences. But we know that God only disciplines those who He loves. That's in the Bible. So these are a word of encouragement to you guys, and we pray that this will help someone out there, and we'll keep sharing more and more. Please stay tuned and watch out.
And our prayer again to you is that whatever season, whatever boat, if your boat feels like it's sinking, again, like I said in the last video, you just need to hold on to God. He's your anchor. He will never let you down.
Focus on God.
Focus on God.
Looking unto God,
the author
and the finisher of our faith.